I think everything sounds good. No one's echoing. Do you want to say like a sentence or something?
Hello. I can
Okay,
see a
good.
little hand waving.
Oh, that's Waylon. Okay, yeah, no
Hi,
echo.
Waylon.
I think she sounds good, so we're good.
Here, it's okay. I don't need the headphones.
No, you sound great. Okay, go with Chad. Go
Perfect.
help Chad. Okay, we're recording. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Yay. It's my computer is across the room from me, so I'm trying
Oh,
to see with my poor vision over there.
well, good.
Oh, let me get this cord out of my way. Okay. Welcome to
It
my
says live,
channel.
but it's not, right?
Yes, exactly. Live is just another it's like for I record on Restream, and so it's like telling me that it's recording.
Okay.
It would
Sounds
be
good.
nice if it said recording instead of live, but
Right? That threw me off. I was like, oh,
yeah.
no.
No, no, we're not live. No. Okay, good. Cool. Okay, you ready to get started?
Oh, yes. Let's do
Yeah.
this.
Okay, I'll start with my like intro and then I'll just like go right into like the question and then the questions are all like for both of us, right? So,
Yes.
but I'll probably
Perfect. No, I
yeah.
appreciate that. And
Yeah.
and you know, I'm assuming that you'll jump in, even if you ask me a question, that you'll jump in if it's like something that I'm not even thinking about, because my nerves are like, what right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I will. Aw,
Okay.
that's okay. Yeah, pretend we're out for coffee. And if it helps at all, I sound like a goober because my chest congestion and my snow mold allergies and
Oh,
all
I
that good
know.
stuff.
Well, I can't tell honestly. If you wouldn't have said anything, I would not have been even able to tell.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't have a cough attack. Okay, I'll start with my intro and then we'll get
Okay.
into her. Okay. All right. Welcome to Beyond Brave, everyone. Today's guest is someone near and dear to my heart, and it is my friend Sarah, who's not only a fellow medical mom, but she is a registered psychotherapist, CEO, and founder of New Earth Therapy in Saskatoon, but also the co creator of something really excited we're launching together. And you guys are hearing this here first. It's going to be called Seeds of Strength. Let's get into it. Okay, so who is Sarah? So I told my fun and very nervous friend starting this podcast, I was like, just like we're just having coffee, but what we're just pretend we're talking, we're just having coffee. What we're telling you all about is something that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah, was birthed from your mind first, and then uh, our seeds of strength idea kind of formed together after you reached out to me. But for our listeners who haven't met you, can you tell us a little bit about exactly like what you do and maybe how your kiddos would describe you in a couple words?
Sure. Well, I mean, you kind of said all the things how I, introduce myself to people that I don't know. I'm Sarah. I'm a mom to two young boys. My oldest is just about 8, and my youngest is just about 6 months. So a bit of a gap in between the two of them. And then I'm also a medical mom to my oldest kiddo. And I'm the founder and owner of a business here in Saskatoon. It's called New Earth Therapy, and it's a holistic health clinic. It's a group practice where we have lots of different mental health therapists, psychologists, social workers, naturopathic doctors, speech language. So we have a whole collective of holistic team members here. And then the new exciting thing is, the co-founder with you of Seeds of Strength, which is so exciting. And I'm so excited to talk about that. I love talking about things like that, not so much myself. So I won't spend too much time talking about me.
Yeah.
And how would my kids describe me? Well, the oldest one, I had to ask him this actually a couple months ago for something I was writing for Instagram.
Oh, no way.
And so I'll just use the words he used that day because I thought it was so true. Kind, caring, and very grumpy.
Same, same. Same, same. I should ask Waylon. He was just down here. I should have been like, describe mommy in 3 words. I would want to know what that is. I have to do that later. Okay,
Right?
backing up just a little bit for
Yeah.
someone who's not like familiar with the terminology. did I get that right? Like, is there a difference between psychotherapist and psychologist?
Yeah, there's different designations that you can get registered with, and so I'm registered with a governing body called CCPCP, and that is you get the designation psychotherapist.
Okay.
There's also like psychologist, social worker. A lot of us have the exact same master's, same training. We do the same kind of work. It just depends on what governing body you want to get registered with. But yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thanks for clearing that up. I was
yeah.
always wondering that. And what can you tell us something that would surprise yourself about life as a therapist?
Surprise myself.
Yeah, or as a mom. What's something that surprises people, I guess, about you that they
That
might
I
not know?
don't oh, yeah, that I don't always have my crap together, and
Poop in a group.
right, that I think a lot of people assume that because you're a therapist, you're gonna have it all figured out, and you're gonna be happy and joyful and not experience anxiety and trauma and all the things, and it's just not the case. I find that since becoming a therapist, I almost experience all those things more because I admit to them more, maybe, or I'm more aware of them now. So I think that's one thing that people are surprised of in sessions and stuff is when they're talking about anxiety. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, when I feel it, I feel that same way. And they're like, you have anxiety? Yeah, every day. Right. So,
That's like the empath in me when because Lal and I see a grief therapist right now, and I've seen a mental health nurse for talk therapy in the past. And my brain immediately goes to, Wait a minute, they're helping me, but who helps them?"
yeah.
Yeah, like, and
Yeah.
so is there any like maybe not mandatories, or is there like, do you kind of have to go and figure out how to get a therapist for yourself even though you are one?
Oh, I've had a therapist for years and I
Okay.
still have a therapist. And I think if anybody ever is seeing a therapist that doesn't have their own therapist, they need to run because we're all human and we
Yeah.
have our own stuff to deal with, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've been seeing the same therapist for almost a decade. She moved to Alberta, so that makes me, I don't see her as often anymore,
Aw.
but absolutely. Like, especially when you hear so many stories, right? You carry a
Yeah.
lot, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So can you also, I mean, all of our Beyond Brave listeners, well, I think most of them probably already know a lot about my medical mom story with Bella, but can you tell us a little bit about how your medical mom journey began?
Yeah, for sure. I will give a heads up and that my son is extremely private. And so when I told him I was doing this with you, he said, fine, as long as you don't talk about me and you talk about yourself.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, that's fair. I'll respect that.
Yeah.
So it started about 2 months after he was born. So about 7.5 years ago, we were kind of launched into it. And as most medical parents know, there's lots of specialist appointments and questions and doctors and just all the medical piece of it, but then also all of the mental health side of it too, right? That trauma, that PTSD, the anxiety, the anger, the resentment, like there's just so much that goes with it. So I mean, we were same as you. We were new parents with our first kid who had medical issues. And so you not only get launched into motherhood and parenthood, you get launched into that on steroids almost, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a lot. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
we've been in it, still live it every day. It's been about 7.5 years that we've been kind of going through everything.
Yeah. And so like that leads into telling our listeners, oh,
We're right on Idlewild, so there's lots of sirens. So
oh yeah. So that kind of us being medical moms really leads into what we want to share with our listeners, kind
yes.
of like a promo and an up and coming and watch for our what we're developing is a medical parent, medical caregiver resource, and we're going to call it Seeds of Strength. And so what that is, we're going to talk about what that is and what that's all about. But when was the moment that this idea began for you and you were like, I need to reach out to Kyla? Me. being Kyla.
Yes, you. When did it begin? Oh my gosh. I think that, honestly, I think it started as an unconscious thing when I was seeking out therapy for processing his health and my experience with his health. And there's some great therapists, and I met with a lot of great therapists, but none of them were medical moms. And there was that piece that was missing. And I remember seeing some people in the past and then being like, okay, well, can you go out for an evening by yourself? And it's like, well, no, you can't always, right? Because you don't have that freedom a lot of times with a kiddo with medical needs, because there's a whole list of things that you can and can't do, and you can't always just hop out of the house and go and do something.
Yeah.
So there was that piece that was always missing of not truly understanding the experiences. People could understand, the grief, the depression, the anxiety, but there was always something missing. And I looked all over. I looked for somebody that had mental health experience, that was a medical mom, and I just couldn't find it. And maybe there are people that just don't open up about that, which is fair. I mean, a lot of therapists are not very outgoing with their private lives. So I think it started to take root then. And then as I did more training with trauma therapy and I got deeper into my career, I thought, well, why don't I do it? Why don't I fill a gap that is missing and support other medical moms? I've got training, I have the credentials, I have the experience, right? So
Yeah.
it kind of started taking root then. And then when I got pregnant with my second kiddo, I got really serious about it. And I think it took root a while ago, but I don't think I got into it until not that long ago.
I really wanted to jump in there, but my throat had other ideas.
Snow mold.
Nah! If you're listening, I'm so sorry. I have this like chest congestion that happens like every April. Or, like seasonal allergies. So I'm just like watery eyes and like just a mess. I'm a big hot mess right now.
All good. And you're out on an acreage as well. Like, so are we. And so that is even worse than when you're in the city. So
Yeah. There's probably like pray for me. There's probably like people that are gonna be like freaking out when I'm like our acreage is like surrounded by crop fields.
Oh yeah.
So literally there's like sprayers around my house and I'm like, should I be concerned? But I think a lot of it's just like, yeah, we have all the fresh air, but like, is the pollution that much different than in the city? That could be like a whole nother podcast. Anyways.
Oh, absolutely it could. I'm there for that one too. I have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, for now I got my Tylenol complete. I got my electrolytes. And you might have to put up with a couple coughing hacks here. But I was gonna say you answered like my next question perfectly, because I was gonna say like what was missing for you as a medical parent that made you think of Seeds of Strength. And so, mind you, we recently came up with that title together, and this is going to be a website and a resource hub online, as well as like socials, like on our we're going to make Instagram and everything. So all like medical parents out there listening, get excited, because like same as you, Sarah, I like my experience as a medical parent is 10 plus years, and like that whole time I call myself like an outgoing person, and I use socials a lot to really like connect with family that we just couldn't see for like months on end, and update that I'm on Bella. But I also found countless resources online. But it took a lot of time and digging to find them, and it took years and months in hospital for child life or the social worker to be like, have you checked this space out, or this or this person, or making medical mom friends. There wasn't anything initially right off the bat in our first long-term stay where I could go to and have everything in one space. And so after you reached out to me, and I was like, oh, okay, we need this resource hub, because this is something I've been trying to make combined for the last 10 years that just isn't there. Like you said, like it just hasn't existed. And I remember times when I'd have I'd be like a seasoned medical mom in it, like 5 years in or whatever. And I'd have other parents reaching out because I was active on socials and be like, can you help so and so, or can you help my cousin? She just went to a hospital and her daughter's having heart surgery, or can you help this person? And then I would have I would list for them all the Facebook pages, all the Instagram pages, all the websites that helped me from that area, whether it was like Toronto, Alberta, Edmonton, Saskatoon. And I was like, yeah, this is a big need. Like,
Mm.
and not only that, I would receive, um, there'd be so many questions about like, is there a parent group at this hospital, or like resources that medical parents don't even know about? And you want to give all of that to them because it can be so helpful. Like information about like free coffee that's in the library at Alberta Children's at 9 a.m. Like you don't have to go to the cafeteria and pay like $2, $3. You got free coffee at 9 every morning, or like different things like that. Or at Alberta Children's, we have a parent group on Facebook that also allows um, the parent group, like new parents, to go to a locker when the administration of the parent group gives them the combo and says there's toiletries in here if you came here
Mm.
on an emergency flight. Like all those kind of things that you could just access like now.
Yeah.
And so I'm constantly feeding all this information and doing all this work while having my own heavy medical journey, and I'm like, this has got to get easier.
Yeah.
And I just never had the energy or the time to like put that all in one, but I like knew it needed to happen. So when you reached out to me, I was like, oh, it is time. Like, that meme when it's like, that meme, it is time.
Yeah.
It is time.
It's time.
So we're
Is
here
that
with
Rafiki?
yeah, we're here with like a literal, I love this part. We're here with a literal SOS for all the medical parents out there, because what we just
Right?
realized, Sarah and I are like, did you know our acronym is SOS? Seeds of Strength? And we're like, yeah, this is great. So
So perfect.
yeah, we're putting it out there. Okay, so my next question that we can chat about is, we've talked about how the smallest seed of faith can grow into unshakable strength. What does that mean to us personally? So
Mm.
for me, I mean, it's crazy. I love the title and the way we've created this together so much, because Bella's whole journey like started with my faith in God, and that as my foundation of support for this medical mom life. And even starting, my first blog about our medical journey is called Isabella's mustard seed, because I always believed in that. Of course, I believe in the Christian faith, but I've always been, growing up with that faith in, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will move mountains. And so I always spoke that over Bella, and I always talked to her about that, and she really took that in. So to have this resource hub is titled as a seed of strength really means a lot to me in that faith aspect. And maybe Sarah, if you wanted to share your input on that too.
Yeah. I think that when you and I were talking a couple months ago now, and we were talking about the mustard seed, because my Christian faith is also my foundation, as you know, and it's how I get through the day to day. And being launched into the medical mom journey actually brought me back to my faith. I was raised Catholic and left the church 20 years ago, and came back to my faith through this experience. And I remember when you and I were talking a few months ago, and we were talking about the mustard seed, that was the seal for me, for you and I working together, because it was just, I don't know, it was just this really big moment. And I think that is why this is going to be so wonderful for you and I doing it together, is that our foundation is the same. It's that faith-based, right, biblical perspective. And that doesn't mean that every person that comes to find resources and work with us is going to have that, but that is how we approach it, and that's how we navigate it, right? And so it's so important in that that name, Seeds of Strength, like finding all of these little seeds, these resources, the support, community, everything. It just gives you one more little seed towards your strength. And I told you this a couple weeks ago, that when my son and I, when we were at church a couple weeks ago, and my son brought his children's Bible,
Yeah.
and he was flipping through it, and he's, grade 2, he can read, but I mean, the Bible, he can't read the Bible word for word. And he's flipping through it, and he lands on a page, and he grabs a highlighter and he highlights it. And I said, what did you highlight? And he's like, I don't know. I didn't read it. And I looked over and it was the parable of the mustard seed. And so right in there in church, I just start bawling, and he's like, mom, what's wrong? And I said to him, well, and I explained him after, and it was just it happened, I think 2 or 3 weeks after that conversation we had about the mustard seed. So it just, I forget what the question was, because I was off on my own little.
Yeah. No, I was just like, what that smallest seed meant to you. You answered it perfectly. I was going to add to that it's like, we want this resource hub to be first and foremost like a one-stop stop for medical parents or caregivers, but that they can also find comfort in knowing what our foundation is too, right? So let's, if we haven't already, let's talk about our different perspectives. So your therapy background and my experience with Bella blend together. How do you feel that this combination strengthens what we're building? I think that I'm just like, I'm so in awe of your like credentials and your title as like it's cool to me. I don't know a better term than I'm just like, you're so smart, like nerdy smart. And that I don't have a friend with your credentials. And so like, that just is really, really cool to me. And I'm really excited for how that's going to help a whole community like us of like medical parents. And then because I feel like I don't have that like that title and that background, but I have like a solid like medical mom background. So I'm just like, I'm Sarah's sidekick. Like this is gonna be a great team. But I wanted your perspective. That's mine.
Oh man. Well, thank you. I don't look at it that way at all. I think my credentials are just some fancy, expensive papers. I think that the lived experience is worth so much more. And I think that it's the lived experience that allows me to connect with people on a level that I do, and not the things that hang on my wall. I really believe that. And I think that the merging of both of us together, because we have such different experiences, which is the reality of being a medical mom, right? Is that there's so many different experiences. There's so many different layers to it. And I think that the blending of both of that is really going to offer a holistic, fully rounded picture of what people need for support, right? You have the ins and outs and understanding of hospitals and medical system like I don't. I mean, we've had some hospital stays, but never to the point where I got to know the system really, really well, right? And I think that coupled with that therapeutic support and all of those pieces together is just going to be such a beautiful blending of what people need.
Yeah, powerhouse.
Right?
Yeah, it's like the perfect combination. It makes me feel kind of a reason why I couldn't create this when I knew it was something that needed to come to happen. I remember there was times when I would sit with Bella's long-term medical team in Calgary, like we're like 8+ years in, and I'm like, I know I have knowledge, and I know they're telling me like I'm really, really powerful medical mom, but I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, when is it going to be, when am I going to have the strength and the ability to help other people? Right? Like, I don't want to always be the one that's needing the help. I want to have that chance to get out here and be strong enough to help other medical parents like me. And I remember saying that to them, and them reassuring me, like, that's definitely, like, that's a really kind heart that you have, but that is not something you need to be wearing right now during your inpatient stay. But it was something like on my mind. So I'm just like, this validates like why I kind of had to wait, because I needed to wait for you.
Well, I mean, right back at you. I had to wait for you. And when I reached out to you, I remember you posted that story, and it was, I don't remember the exact wording, but it was like, what can I do? Does anybody have ideas on what I can do to keep Bella's legacy alive? And I mean, I don't even think it was me making the decision to message you. I honestly, that was God, that was his hand, and being like, respond now. And I remember being like, I don't want to respond to that. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to approach this. Like, she just lost her daughter. She's grieving. Like, I'm not going to say, hey, come and start this resource thing with me.
Yeah.
But I don't think I made that decision to message you. And literally, thank God I did, because I think that the reason I never launched this either in all the years is I was waiting for you. I think that you and me together on this it has God's hands all over it. And it is something that I couldn't have done alone. And yeah, I'm so happy to be doing it with you.
Yeah, me too, 100%. It's just coming together so easily and so perfectly, and it's so like meant to be, even like as cliche as that sounds, but it truly is, because I really felt like there's so much healing in like what like what I'm what I'm grieving, the loss of my daughter. There's so much healing in how do I carry her legacy forward, and always for me that's been how do I help other medical parents. So this is like a part of that, like with the podcast and now with this resource hub, like that's so much for me in my healing and in my grief that like, yeah, don't ever worry about reaching out and at the wrong time. That definitely didn't happen. Okay, so let's get into the nitty gritty of what people can expect. So we're calling it the One-Stop Shop Hub, Seeds of Strength. So what kinds of things can people actually expect to find on our website and our socials? And I had like, make sure jump in if I miss anything, but we're going to have free resources. We're going to have social groups, also paid programs, a lot of like maybe drop down links. Like if you're from this children's hospital, here's a parent group, mental health resources. What else am I missing that we're going to have? Oh, lots of Canadian, but Canadian shop, not only shops, but people online that support like medical devices or that sort of thing, accessories, that sort of thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Am I missing anything?
Therapeutic groups. We had talked about doing some different therapeutic groups, and then some one-on-one stuff so that we can support people one-on-one if they want that. And yeah, I think with the free resources, that's the part I'm so excited about, because I remember the beginning of my journey, I just wanted resources. I wanted information. I wanted all the things. And like you said, there wasn't a one-stop place for everything. And that's what we want to create, is this literally one place where you can access everything. And I think it's going to be a living hub of resources, because it's going to be evolving and changing and adding based on what people want, right? We're going to be creating things as we know the need.
Yeah, definitely. And we're in Canada, like we're primarily Canadian, so we're going to have primarily Canadian stuff on there. But I have some friends in the States that there was a time too when Bella almost needed treatment in the States. They didn't have the medical equipment at her children's hospital here in Canada, but it turned out instead of going there, if I get it right, I think it was a super small sort of scope that she needed done, a specific scope for her bowels. And then it was like in the time her medical team was deciding that and like almost booking us flights down there, they were like, no, she needs to be assessed for a bowel transplant. So then that never ended up happening. But I can't remember if like, I have a lot of friends in the States that kind of have similar resource hubs and links like this, but I don't think there's one in Canada. So we're going to primarily be Canadian, but we have some friends in the States that are going to help us add, like we might have a mix of both. Hey. Yeah,
I would think so. Yeah, depending on what the need is. But I think, yeah, we had talked about starting Canadian and local, but then growing it Canada wide and
yeah, primarily. So we chatted a little bit about the therapeutic groups, and launching somatic self-led courses. Would you give us like a sneak peek of what this might look like for, say, like a medical mom that wants to give it a go?
So the somatic led course, that's something I've been, playing with for, so long. And it came just from so I'm trained in somatic experiencing. I'm working, it's a 3-year program, and there's beginner, intermediate, advanced. Anyways, I've finished all the intermediate, waiting for an advanced one that I can actually go to, because they're all over North America, all over the world, and I haven't been able to go to one yet. But trained in somatic experiencing, and that has been huge in my own healing journey, and being able to process ongoing trauma and being able to just move through everything. And it's the foundation beyond, like, besides my faith, that I work at in individual therapy with my clients. So I wanted to create some kind of online self-led program where people can just access those pieces, that somatic experiencing piece, to be able to move through things at their own pace. And it's just, I like one-on-one therapy for myself. I like going to therapy, but there's times too where I don't have the time. I don't have the ability to get out without my kids to do something like that. And I've always just I like those self-led courses where I can move through things at my own pace. I can do things at night when the kids are asleep, and I can just learn things and put them into practice. And so it's just one more piece and one more seed, one more resource that I think we want available at some point. We're far away from that. It's going to take a while to develop, but
Yeah.
it's just one more seed.
I know we chatted a bit about both of us offering the one-on-one sessions, and I was a little like apprehensive at first. I'm like, what do you mean I have to talk to someone when I'm not a therapist? Like, what am I gonna say? Like, they're there. Like, but I'd probably need a little bit more of your support and help in figuring that out. But I would hope that, I think in my sessions, like, Sarah, I need like all your input on this, but what do you think would be the reasons why a medical parent would want to do a one-on-one session with me? Sorry.
So many reasons. I think back to when our kiddo was hospitalized. He was 8 months old or 9 months old, and we were only there for a week. And it was terrifying because we didn't know anything about the system then. And I mean, my husband and I slept on little blue mats on the floor because they didn't have a bed or they didn't have anything in the hospital room. And I just remember being so lost on how to figure things out. And it was survival mode, right? So I can't imagine the parents that are going through longer hospital stays, transfers, all those things that I don't have any experience with. But if I did, knowing what I know, I would want somebody to sit down and say, okay, here's things to know. Here's resources. Here's who to talk to in this city. Like you said, here's where you can get this free coffee so you don't have to pay $2 or $3. Here's, all of these things to make your life a little bit easier. Let me sit down with you and help you take away the anxiety and stress of that piece so you can show up for your kid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I personally think that is going to be invaluable to parents that are starting this journey or doing something new, like a new transfer. There's just,
Yeah. And just like thinking about it and talking about it with you, being nervous about like me hosting a one-on-one with someone, I see the value in it. And I don't want this to sound weird, but the humble part of me is like, what do you mean, me? What? What? But I also know that as a medical parent, there is substance and value and reassurance in talking to someone who's been there already.
Exactly.
And then that kind of leads to like, yes, I'm going to have a lot of tons and tons of information on the medical systems with Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Toronto, but I don't have as much with, say, BC and Manitoba or Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
So, or the Easterners, what do we call those? Nova Scotia and all those
Easterners.
The Easterners. That sounds terrible. Oh my goodness. But but like we're like Sarah and I will also we're going to be reaching out on our socials because we want it to be collaborative in a sense where medical parents from those provinces give resources that have been valuable to them and give a little bit of input from them. So like if you're a medical mom from BC, if you're a medical mom from Manitoba, like all these other provinces, like reach out to us and give us like your number one resource for that children's hospital. And we want to add those to our main seeds of strength website and our socials. Okay, so we also chatted a little bit about like creating an Instagram page for Seeds of Strength,
Mhm.
and we had some. Can you remind me what our ideas were around how we wanted to support parents on a weekly or
Oh,
monthly basis?
yeah. I thought
Yeah.
you were gonna say, "Can you remind me of the names we came up with?" And I was gonna say, "I don't
Oh,
remember them. There were so many." And I was like, "Please don't put me on the
no,
spot."
no, no, no. But we were gonna do like lives. Like I can't remember if we wanted to do it weekly or monthly, but
Yeah,
we wanted to do lives sessions like free with the both of us, like every so often. Hey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lives. And I think, I mean, anyone could look at my business Instagram, and I get on there and I'm gung ho for like the first 2 weeks, and then I peter out. Now I haven't posted in like a month because
Yeah.
I'm not a huge social media person, and I'm not a big I'm not an outgoing person. But so those lives, but yeah, I mean, we need to do those lives. And then I think just, weekly resources and different kind of supports. And I think you had mentioned one time when we were chatting about just keeping that open and asking people, like, what do you need? What do you want to see? Because
Yeah.
the whole point of this is curating and creating and amalgamating things we know, but still we don't know everything because we haven't been through every type of experience, right?
Yeah.
So keeping that channel open for people to say, hey, I'm looking for this kind of resource. Can you provide it? And between the two of us and the support of community, that's kind of what I envision the Instagram being, and the website all working together is just this ongoing hub of resources and
Yeah.
information and all sorts of things.
Yeah, because when we have our website live and our Instagram page live, that's just the start. But we want to continue to accumulate as much as we can and make this like the number one resource spot for all medical parents in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think those lives will be a really good way to check in and be like, hey, what are we missing? What else do we need? What are you
Mm-hmm.
using? What's helpful so far? Different ways we can branch out depending on the needs that we see, like the highest level of needs that we see coming in. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, where are we at? Oh my goodness. Wait, did I miss a whole page or am I actually like on time today? Oh yeah, I am. Oh, look at that. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're like at 40. I think we're at like 40 minutes. So this is really awesome. We're
Nice.
tickety boo. Okay. In like almost closing. In like almost closing. What is something we wish every medical parent could hear today?
Mm.
Um, I would say right now the first thing that comes to my head is don't worry, we're coming. Don't
Yeah.
worry, we're coming.
Soon. We always, you and I always joke that like we give ourselves these loose deadlines because
Yeah,
life
yeah,
happens, and
yeah,
I'll text you, I'll be like, I haven't done this. And you're like, oh good, I haven't done this. And it's just it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
perfect.
Help is
But
on the
yes, we're
way.
coming.
Help is on the way. Just Miss Delphine is in my head now. Yeah, yeah, we're coming. Don't worry, we're coming. Um,
Yeah.
Okay, so where people can find and follow is when the site is fully live, we will have an Instagram page, and so we're going to share, of course, our website link there, and we're gonna so watch for it specifically on Instagram when we have the site go live. Um, and if you're listening right now and you're like, okay, I really would love to support um I have a valuable resource I'd love to share with Sarah and Kyla. Make sure, like, if you're listening right now and you're like, oh, I could add this and this would be really useful. I wonder if they know about this. Please DM us right like now because we don't have our site and page live yet. So you can DM me on Instagram at KylaCT, and Sarah is at sarah.binsfeld, Binsfeld. And what else am I missing? Did I miss anything else with that?
Yeah, and we don't have our Instagram live yet either. So
No.
once we
What's
know
our
that
goal?
too,
What's our goal with that? It'll be Seeds of
what
Strength. What's our
seeds of
Instagram
strength.
title again? I'm just the
We
sauce.
haven't, yeah. We haven't
You know what I
decided.
forgot to do? I forgot I was gonna print off our Google Doc where
Yeah.
where we were like, okay, this because it took us a little bit to like decide on a title because we had some really good options.
Yeah.
But I probably should have had that prepared for the podcast. Okay, what were we gonna Do I need to look it up right now? Is it
Honestly, I don't even remember. That's the thing, because we like
I'm
that
looking it up.
shows how our focus has been on creating the other side of things, right? The resources and everything,
Yeah.
and not so much the Instagram. I don't even remember. I think it was like Seeds of Strength official or something. I don't remember.
Let me see here. Hold on, guys. Just hang on a second. Okay.
Just wait while
Our,
Kyla looks up our name.
yes, we were. I have the list of all the ones we're going to choose from, but we have highlighted. We're going to go with Seeds of Strength official.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was the one. And I don't remember if we said that there was going to be like periods in there or if it was like all one word. I don't remember those pieces.
Yeah. No, it was all one word. But when, as always, like when you go on Instagram and you try to make a new title and it's like, this is already taken. Sure, that one's not. So if you're listening, don't make that a page right now. You guys, let us have that one.
Don't steal it.
Don't steal it, okay, guys? Don't steal it. You be nice to us. So
Maybe we should just go on and start it, and then we just have it, and then that could just be there for when we are ready.
What is our goal? When do we want to have this live? Was our goal May?
We did, yeah, we talked about May. That's closing in pretty darn quick. It's already the end of April, and that's what I mean with our loose deadlines.
We promise we're coming.
Right? Life happens.
But
I don't know what our goal is. Soon. We are coming soon.
Very soon. You'll see it on Instagram. And then if you want to, of course, like follow our socials right now, then you'll catch it, of course, when we start sharing it. But definitely like DM us right now if you can. If you have something really pressing, you're like, oh, this needs to be on Seeds of Strength. Let us know.
And then also email. Like people can email us too, because we have our email live.
Yes. Oh, right. Can you remind them what that is?
Is it hello@seedsofstrength.ca or is it info?
Are you asking me?
I am asking you. I'm going to see if
Hold on. Wait, do we have it on the Google Doc?
It is on the Google Doc.
Okay, I thought I had it. I have. Oh no, I did have it in my outro. I do. Yeah, at seedsofstrength.co.
Okay.
Not .com.
.co. Is it .co?
I think it's .co.
I think it was .ca.
Oh, maybe that's a typo. Let me double check here. Okay, it's in our Google Doc.
Yeah, it should be. I'm going to see if I can log into it even. I don't even know how. Oh, yeah, it's hello@seedsofstrength.
Oh, yeah, that was a typo on my part. It's .ca.
.ca. Yeah.
Yeah. hello@seedsofstrength.ca.
Kyla, we don't know our website, our email, our social media handle. Like,
can you tell we're medical moms?
Where's our minds? Where are they?
We're kind of busy, guys. Okay.
We sure are. But yeah, so that email is another one too, because we will have that too.
Yeah.
To check.
Perfect.
For stuff.
Okay. Well, if there's anything else I forgot that you want to mention, I'll do our outro.
Yeah. No, I think I'm good. I'm so thrilled to be doing this with you, and I can't wait. I think it's been so fun already, and I can't wait to meet parents and families. And I think one thing maybe to mention is we had talked about, so it's a website and it's online and all this, but there's also opportunities for in-person stuff because you and I are both in Saskatchewan. We had talked about, this clinic that I have, it's a beautiful space in downtown Saskatoon that we have the availability and the space and the infrastructure to support parents and moms and dads in person as well. So for anyone local to us, that will be an opportunity, an option, not an opportunity, an option.
Yes, exactly. I'm excited. In like an hour here, I'm going to be a part of the New Earth Friday Fuel segment on Instagram.
Yes.
So yeah, if you're listening to this now, that's already happened. So you can go to the New Earth YXE on Instagram.
Yeah, newearth.yxe, and you're going to be chatting with Allison. So Allison's our social media and marketing manager, and she's phenomenal. She's just doing so awesome with these lives, and so yeah, you'll be chatting with her, and yeah, like an hour.
Yay! Yep. Okay, so before we go, I just want to say thank you for everyone listening and sitting in this space with us today, and listening all the way through. If you're still here right now, that's awesome. Thank you for supporting the Bella Brave Legacy Project, soon to be Seeds of Strength resource hub, as well as Beyond Brave podcast. Um, so, Seeds of Strength was born from our own lived experiences, but it's growing into something much bigger because of you. So, thank you for listening in with us today. And also, if you're thinking, like I had mentioned earlier, I want to be a part of this and help out, whether that means sharing your story, contributing a resource, helping us build this community in Seeds of Strength, we would love to hear from you. So, again, our Instagram is you can DM me at KylaCT or Sarah.Binsfeld or email us at hello@seedsofstrength.ca. And my final little blurb to say, if you're a medical grieving parent or someone walking through the hardest thing you've ever faced, know that you are not alone and you never have to be. There is strength in your story, there's a space for your pain, and there's a community here waiting to walk beside you. Don't forget, please, if you can, to subscribe to Beyond Brave. Leave a review, that really helps us out a lot. Review today's episode. If it spoke to your heart, it'd be awesome if you could share it with somebody that you think might need it. Your bravery builds bridges, and your voice just might be the lifeline someone else needs today. We'll see you next time, right here on Beyond Brave. Take care. We're done.